You need to spend so many hours and months to do that, because the way people in the north speak pidgin is different from the way people in the south speak pidgin. And if you go to an American speaks English, because depending on the states, any of the states, right, the accent is pretty much different. The same thing with the UK. You have someone from Scotland is speaking English with a different accent. Someone from Middlesbrough is speaking English with a different accent. Very beginner friendly. Not just that it's beginner friendly, but it's also one language that you can use to study the footprints of other languages. Microsoft Excel. And far more difficult. But I don't know about you guys. I know a lot of you are Genesis teaching Excel. So I'm trying to share my connect so that we can look at the screen. There is a mute your mic. You said 60 answer, go right by it. 40 plus 10 is what? 50 plus 10 is 60 plus 20 is 80. So why do I have 60 here? If there's a question, what do you think I did there? Just look at it. Why do you have a summation that gives 60 instead of 80? Add everything that is greater than 60. We are indirectly saying we want to add this equals to some, right? We want to add 67. What else is greater than 60? 87, right? 87, and then what? 73. And then, so this is it. But no one is going to have that time to be choosing the things that are greater than. What if you have a long list of rows? Are you going to trust your eye to count all the things that are greater than a particular value? Right? To get to that answer, instead of sum, we use what is called what? Sum. We already know what the formula is. Now, if you look at this, there was nothing like bracket open, bracket close. Sorry, there was nothing like greater than, less than, and everything you see was either the number and then the comma and then the bracket close, right? You insert anything that is not part of these underlying formulas. To understand what you mean when you insert greater than and less than, Excel is going to return the value as being erroneous. So your best shot to telling Excel, look, I beg, and you don't say this one no dey your house, but just collect. Just use this one and manage, and then give me the answer. Your best shot is to use double quotes. It is not programmed. This sum if is not programmed to understand what you mean when you insert greater than and less than. But when once you insert the range, you understand. You put a comma. You insert the criteria, you understand, you put a comma. Anything outside of what this code is telling you is going to return error. Think about it this way. When you mistake your password, you want to insert your password in your phone, and you mistakenly put a wrong number, it's going to tell you incorrect password. Because when you were inserting the password initially, what you were doing was you were training that system to accept those values to be your password. So it's going to ask you the first time, it's going to now ask you to confirm if this is what you want. When once you now click on OK, it is going to put those codes together. Anytime you insert numbers that are not part of the original code, it's going to return what? Error. You go to your bank, you want to open, some of the banks do that on digital banks. You open your bank app, you want to transfer money. There's money over here, I'm not seeing it. Right? Just calm down. That is not the time for you to go to your church and do fasting and shout. Hey, my enemies, they have come, they have come. Affected not just your app, but everyone using that app. And most especially using that particular function where the code had issues. That's why you see software developers. Some of my friends who are bankers don't like the software guys who are working in the bank rather. They don't really like working full time because in their mind these guys cannot pay them. Because why would you be saying that your bank is making millions and millions of dollars in revenue? At the end of the day, the guys that are keeping those things running, you are paying them 700K in a month. When you know that one company somewhere is waiting to pay them $2,000, $3,000 a month. And I'm not talking about entry-level software developers, those who know what they are doing. Well, it's not simple, but a single mistake in the financial sector, you just wake up. I think it was Pastor who said it sometime that his account was wiped. A single mistake like this, whether it's code or someone is hacking you, your life is in shambles. Una answer not true. From your phone to your house to your family, everything. Imagine that there is a code somewhere that you are not supposed to misuse it. Everybody they read your WhatsApp message. Voila. When once they just type your number on WhatsApp, everything back. So it's very important. These little mistakes, very, very important. But again, all the time when I'm teaching, I always tell students, it is learning the codes is the easy part. Understanding why you are using that code is the hard part. You know that there's another software that uses SOP-IF. But when you have mastered why it is used in Excel, it's going to be very easy for you to manipulate the same function in another software. And if you see another software using SOP-IF, because you understand why it was used, why it was programmed in the first place, it will be easier for you to navigate that new software. Do you remember that there are cases where you are typing in Microsoft Word, you put a full stop. Normally, the next thing before you start typing is you have to hit on your space bar, right? Before you insert a new sentence. But have you noticed that sometimes you forget to do that and then you just start typing? Microsoft already has a software programmed to identify those type of errors. So for you see a red line, but for us we see a programming telling you that there is an error, right? The red line will come under the last letter, the full stop, and where you are supposed to put the space. Correct? Yes. Good. So in Microsoft Word, every single character, or rather, every single variable, number, alphabet, space, comma, full stop, all of those things are called characters, and they are very valid. So follow those building blocks. When we are speaking, there are certain building blocks that we have as human beings when we are speaking. Hello, Vivian, how are you today? If you chop right? You already know that's not the cadence of the human speech. So those for general intelligence are trying to build human likeliness to systems, robots. So it's possible, 50, 100 years from now, you think those robots, those are systems. Very possible. Now it's already happening. There are people who need company, right? Go to China, you just import any of those things and then they talk to you, right? You talk, they respond because they are built to listen. They are built to take care of you. They can take, cook your food, do your coffee and things like that. Okay? Are we together? Yes. So now in this class, anytime you see a comma going forward, tell yourself that is a what? A character. Anytime you see a full stop, what? It is what? A character. Anytime you see space that you just hit and pass, this time around when you hit space, calm down. Enjoy the knowledge you have that is what? A character. If you mistakenly hit space twice, boom, boom, what happened? Error. Are we together? Okay, I need to tell. Sorry, we have the UI UX guys. One of those should be online. Now, which of these characters do you see there? Which of these characters do you see there? What? The comma. We have to uncheck the tab and click on what? Comma. Now you see how it is arranged. Right? The moment you click on comma, you see how it now appears. It is also now giving you a preview of what it's going to look like. You want it to appear in A7, meaning A7? No, because this is already where the data is. We want it to appear from B. Remember, we have first name, and then we have last name, right? And then we have what? Company name. So B, first name, last name, company name. We want it to appear that way. So we're going to click on that arrow facing upwards. Click on it. It has highlighted the A7, but we say that's not where we want it to be. We want it to be from here all the way to this place. Okay? Now you can see it's telling you B7 is to D7. Okay? B7 all the way to what? D7. And when you are done, you drop the arrow, that small arrow, you click, and it's going to take you back to this dialog box. Did you understand up to this point? Yes. Good. When you are done, you click on what? Finish. And there you have it. So while your colleague is wasting time doing all the typing, imagine you have up to 1,000 of this type of data. Someone that does not understand Excel, you are typing and typing and typing. Like the Oga that you are, you just use text to columns, and that solves your problem. Soft life. Very soft. Any question on split?
So can you repeat the question?
Okay. I should repeat it.
Yes, sir.
Alright. That first one was appetizer. Let's do it again. Right? Always remember to highlight your data set. Working. Highlight it. Now, if this data is on a table, you don't need to highlight it. Okay? You can either just come over here and call the name of the column. But either way, you make sure you highlight it. And then go to your data menu, right? Click on text to column. Alright? You already see that the first one is checked, delimited. So delimited tells you that there are characters that contains a comma or there are commas. And then you have to go ahead to click on next. And then, of course, remember when we have semicolon, we have comma, space, and other. We choose comma because we want this data to be arranged separately. Okay? When you do that, you now click on next. It's asking you for destination, which is your next. In other words, we want to find out where do we want to see the new values. The new values are first name, last name. First name will be last name Peter and company name Contortion Limited. We want it to be arranged in that way. And if you click on this arrow, it's on A7. But we don't want it to be on A7 because that's where our data is. So you click on that arrow, it's highlighted. We don't want it there. You have to make sure you take it to, you can highlight everything or you can highlight just the first row. Okay? So now we have B7 and D7. When you are done with that, you come back here because you want to return to that dialog box. Click on it, and this dialog box is right back. And when you are done, you click on what? Finish. And then the magic. You have your first name, your last name, your company name. Is it clear?
Guitar, the name. How about if they weren't in commas and you want to keep all of them in commas? How do you do that?
If they were not in commas, and you want all of them to be in commas.
Because you know that you want to do this.
Okay. Yes. Smart question. We are coming right there. Just calm down. Right? We are coming there. Which is your question, isn't it? The reverse of what we have done now. In other words, you want to add everything together. You don't want your first name to be separated from your father because you love your father. You want a big, good family, right? So we are going to do that. But this is very critical because there are some cases where you can't analyze data with this. Clearly, you can't, because this is a story that doesn't make sense. With this story, you don't know which is the first name, you don't know which is the last name, you don't even know anything about this data. You can't even create a graph for it. Now I can create a graph to find out how many people are working in Real Cloud. I can now see, create a graph for it. Right? Let's assume there are amount of sales or something. It makes even more sense. Your precious. Do you see what filter does? Every other thing has disappeared except the ones I chose. Disappear doesn't mean it don't come out to it's not been erased. It means it is out of sight. And then pay attention anytime you are given a data set. This can even come as a data analyst. This can even come under your interviews. They can send you a data set like this and tell you to analyze. They will talk about so many other values. And if you were taught by me, you will not need to send an email. Oga, you mentioned other values. They are not here under category and department. Where can I get them? If you are smart, it is part of the interview. The person wants you to find out how you can make other values to appear. And the best way for you to look at is look at the top. There is no filter here. There's no filter here. There's no filter here. There's no filter here. But there is a filter here. All you need to do is click on it. Right? And then bring back every other thing. And then you will be proud of yourself. You can now check that and click on OK. You'll be like, oh wow, God bless Mr. David. The ones that are giving your guys meat, and then you want to tell them that, okay, we have not been making sales from our data. All you need to do is to show them just their department meat. You have no business projecting every single detail from your company to those that are not supposed to have access to the data. Tomorrow now they will kidnap you. It's because of giving use filter. I'm just saying that, sometimes you can cause a lot of strain within companies, within departments, when you expose them to certain levels of information they are not supposed to be aware of. Like for that one, Power BI, if you are actually analyzing a data for a particular company in, let's say, Lagos, and you want them, like the administrators or the managers, to have access to only what's going on in their region, you can do that. Use certain administrative tools. But you don't need to go and be telling someone in Lagos, send them the login details of analysis of the company in Abuja. People could be funny, they could sabotage efforts. But that's a really senior data analyst and those who have been doing the job for a while, including myself, we do that a lot of time. Guys, do it. So we want to see only meat. Who want to try? Only meat. Those of you that have not come over here to show us who you be. Okay, let me check now. Right. All right, super. Thank you. You see, if you are presenting this type of data, you can choose to create a chart. Show them. Right? This is how much you're able to make. You guys will sell 75, but we make 75. It's not good for business. And when they are done, you go to call in the next department. You remove this one, you show them. That is what it means. So now this is your assessment, right? This is your assignment. Quickly take a picture and put it in the group. I want you to analyze this data. We want to sack 2 or 3 of them. Those ones that are wasting our money. Tell us who to keep and who to let go. The data is staring at you right there. Use sort and filter and give us a response. All of them we had a meeting with them in the office. We told them our budget. We say, this hotel we are going, don't go to presidential suite. Use the one that we can pay. But because some employees, they have gone to enter where Tinubu used to sleep. And they have sent us a bill for the month. Yam and egg, where is supposed to chop for $20. And everybody knows that is how much we pay. You go and sit down and order full course meal. So we want to let some of them go so that we can cut costs. Analyze the data and tell us what you find out. Is it clear? Always request for employee ID, not employee name. In case I follow you talk for office. And then employee ID is like your password, right? Not everybody should know it. Because that employee ID is what you use to log in into your laptop, your office laptop, log in, if we have any financial complaints, you can call your ID, fraud and whatever. So sometimes even your husband, your wife should not know your employee ID. That's why you marry them. Anyway, so we don't work with names. So that you won't say, now me analyze your data, now they don't serve you. I know serve your ID. Do a something. Imagine you have 20,000 employees in the whole company. You don't expect me to memorize all of them. Well done. Again, this also is very good for hiring managers so that you will not say you don't like Rosemary. You saw Rosemary. Rosemary is supposed to be promoted because you have issues with her. The data is telling you that this person is due for promotion. You saw Rosemary. The data says Rosemary is due for promotion. I say no. As far as Nami the runner. Right? That is why Rosemary is not expected to even share her employee's ID with the HR or whoever. I'm just saying this. Tables because with tables, it makes life easier. Okay, question, okay.
Command insult.
I don't know. We can research on that together. Honest, I've not used that control before. Come up with its own header, but that is looking too noisy. So we have to do Control T, leave it checked, and then we click on OK. Now, just like filter, tables also have a drop-down arrow. Now, remember the other one, when I was calculating for the total sum, I had to take like 2 or 3 steps to be able to get it, right? Over here, once I make a single step, click on this, it gives me my son, JJJ. And not only did it give me my son, it has also opened up an arrow to tell me in case you want to check other things, you can do that. And I can go ahead and say, you know what, I want to see the minimum of those values. The minimum is 10,000, right? I want to see the maximum. The maximum is what? 90. I want to see the average. The average is 53. I want to see what? Standard deviation, 33. So, for those of you that say you hate mathematics, welcome to Excel. This makes you to even understand and appreciate, spend less time. You know how to solve standard deviation. You still remember?
No.
If you ask me, I will pass it to, but I will fail it properly as well. I don't have time for all those. The same thing over here. Your calculations and all of those things. Yes.
So, please, when did you clean after creating the table?
After creating a table, thing from the table, you Control A, right click, look for table and click on convert to range, and everything is back to normal. It's no longer on the table. So I'm going to start again so that you can follow. You are live now? Alright. So I come up, Control A, Control T, right? And then you click on OK. Now you have a table. So clear? Good. Now, the other beautiful thing about a table is that I can give it a name. And even if I leave this particular workbook, I can always refer to that table in a brand new workbook. I'm going to show you how. Now, if I click outside, pay attention. Normally, this is where my data is supposed to, my data tab is supposed to end, data mining, right? But if I click outside, you can see the others have disappeared. The moment you click inside this table we created, you now have what? Analyze and table design. So you can choose to now put all the colors you want in your table. You can choose any of these, right? Let's say you can choose any of these colors, I think. Any of them can work. What? Can you guys try this? Try this on your laptop. Let's see if the tables are changing the colors. Normally it's supposed to, I don't know why mine.
It's like clearing the range first.
Repeat that, right?
No, that.
Format. Try it one last time. Okay, work now. Yeah, so you can choose any of these colors. Have you guys seen that? So, I think why it didn't work before, I had manipulated the table before using the function, so it was telling me I can't build a table on a table. You can choose any of this. It's pretty simple how this works really. Now, how do you name a table? When you go to table design, come over to table name. So what should we call this table? department. Just going to type department table, depart table. No need to put space, just together and then you hit enter. Now let me show you. I want to open a brand new page, a brand new workbook or sheet. Nothing is here at all. Now remember we treated sum if. Okay? I'm going to now say equals to sum if, bracket open. My range is supposed to be the entire table. That department table. Can you see it? In a brand new page. Then I put my comma. Now because I don't know what the other columns of the table look like, this is a new page entirely. If I want to see them, I'm going to put a square bracket. Then you now see all the column titles. Have you seen that? If you want to call in any of those column titles, now this is what we do when we have thousands of rows of data. You don't have to scroll down before you start working on anything. Just put your entire data sheet in a data set in a table, go to the next sheet, and then start cleaning and doing whatever you want to do. I don't need to go back to check, okay, which column. I just call in with my square brackets, I just call in this, and then we start working. So let's say I want to do my everything that is, okay, I want to call in the December column, all right? Close the bracket, put my comma, and then in that December column, I want to say everything that is greater than, let's say 20. Everything that is greater than 20. I want you to add everything that is greater than 20, then I'm going to put this, then I hit this. Can you see that? You see 60,000. I didn't need to go to that table to go and check the December column. I can call it out from anywhere. So, I want to say something further. Putting your data set in a table is like having control over its move button. Right? Valentine may come to understand this gist. I don't need to see what that table looks like. But once I give it a name, I can call it anywhere. Yes.
You must have opened the actual workbook, the page, and opening a new workbook. Could you do that?
Now I can do that in something called VBA and macros. That is like the coding aspect of Excel. But as long as, see, everything on this workbook is like a code at the background. Every single page here matters. This particular sheet, this sum sheet, and I name that table, and I come over here to transpose and call that table, it's going to reference it. Now, if I close this workbook, save everything, close it, and open it back, every other thing is going to run. Workbook and open a brand new workbook. I can't call the name of the table in a brand new workbook without referring to this one. Do you understand me? But I can do that in VBA and macros. I think it's under the developer tab. So I only need to call in the name of my table, and it's going to look for the Excel sheets to drop down. So we're almost done.
So can you
Recap. There is a time for being here. To give you an award. But I hope what? How to name a table. How to name a table. That's someone else try. Someone else. How to name a table. How can we name a table?
Table name.
Oh, yeah, come on, sure. Table design.
Table name.
Table name, okay. It's that simple. Get the explanation. So let's move on. To drop down. I need to finish this sheet today because give me a list of brands, popular brands for a particular product. Okay? So we have Coca-Cola there. This is the brand.
Seaweed.
What?
Seaweed.
Pepsi. Seaweed. What seaweed? Okay, let me see. Let's see. Right? iPhone. Okay, so let's do cars. What are Lexus? Okay. Nissan. I feel buy Ferrari. Now it's not yet. He said I need to invite me somewhere. Anyway, for Nigerians, I understand. For us, really, I'm Nigerian. I understand that we pay cash for literally everything, right? Yes, sir. 100 of this type of data, and you are asked to validate them. You are asked to match them with their right categories to enable those who you are going to be working with to see exactly what this is saying. So instead of typing this over and over again and making mistakes in the process, you are going to do what is called data validation. And how does that work really? You go to click on data, look for data validation, which is this one. Can you read what's there, please?
For example, you can provide a list of values like 1, 2, and 3, or only allow numbers greater than 1,000 as value metric.
Exactly. So if you have your budget and your budget is 20,000, you are going to validate your data in such a way that nobody inserts anything that is above 20,000. That is what it means. You mean that you can provide a list of the values, a list of your budget. In other words, anything that is above what you have provided, you will never be able to insert it into that data. It also works in such a way that the data shows that so person is supposed to be promoted in an office, right? Normally, your customer ID or your client ID or employee ID supposed to validate that. But assuming you now go and change the data and now take it to someone that you are far better than. For them to do that means that the person who was analyzing the data did not validate that data. He didn't say that customer ID 121-this has been accrued a certain type of data. And you know that if they are looking at top 10, your name will definitely come out because your customer ID is maybe either any of the top 10 due for promotion. The person's name is not going to be possible because that thing you are trying to change to another number was not validated. Do you understand? Yes. Now in Python programming, it's even more interesting. Password you insert into your phone has been validated. The moment you insert a password that does not match the code that presents you, password, login, or sign in, you can't have access to that device. The same with your ATM. You put in your ATM, the machine has been programmed to follow certain instructions. You can only insert your PIN 4 times. Only 4 times. If you press once, you press 5 times, it will either make noise or tell you error or something. It means that it's been validated to only accept 4 numbers. A character, maybe like a comma, maybe like something or whatever. They will even give you a list. Choose, insert something. That is how some of this data validated stuff works. So let's try and see how this one works. So it's asking us for what are we going to allow? This time we're going to allow a list. Our source is our category. So we're going to type what? Phones, cars, and then meat. And then we're going to hit enter. Now if you open this, can you see there's an arrow there now? If you open the arrow, you now see phones, cars, and meat. Now chicken falls under what?
Meat.
You now choose meat. Now let's assume that you are disagreeing with this data that have already been validated. You say chicken. No, it's not meat. You want to type something else, right? You now remove meat. And then just give me a funny thing to insert there. Drink. Let's assume in your village you drink chicken. And then you see chicken, you put drink. So you now type drink, and then you want to click outside. Do you see what it's telling you? You know if you run out, it's not possible. Right? Can't have access to it. This value does not match the restrictions defined in this cell. So those of you that, when you open that form, you see male, female, and that's it. You say you be man, you say no, I no be man. You be woman, no, I no be woman. Where do you be? You want to go and type what you are inside there. When once you type it, maybe you say I am whatever, and then you click outside. It's going to tell you error, right? A list of gender. And one time I was pissed off. Man, where I be, I go need scroll down to go see mail. It was really not for anything Western, and you are waiting for deadline. Some things that will just take a few seconds and male, female, simple. But you have to scroll down. You have to see, you see trans, you see cisgender, you see this one, you see this one, you are scrolling down, and if you go click with you know the next page. This one is very important. But again, I made a mistake here. I was supposed to make sure I highlight the entire cell. Like where you want your data to be validated, go to data validation. Now, we already typed all of that, then click on OK. Now, anytime you click on any of the cells that you highlighted, you can see those arrows will come out, right? And there would always be phones. So over here, you have what? Phones. Over here, you have a car. But now, remember when I told you, what if there is a mistake? What if there is a mistake? What if in future is no longer meat, it's something else? Let's call it chop chop. Instead of meat, we have chop chop. Now let's go back and check the data that was validated. You see that we still have our meat instead of that chop chop. So to be on the safer side, when you are validating your data, make sure you put it in a table. And always make sure, just like sum, remember we were trying to solve for sum. We use cells instead of typing out the numbers. You know why that is, right? Because when we type out the numbers, what if we want to correct a mistake? You have to go back, remove the numbers, and then insert the new numbers. But if you are using a cell, the moment you automatically correct the number, it also affects the solution. You were here when I talked about that, right? So for this, instead of typing out all of this, I'm going to clean this. Then I'm going to come here, the data validate this. You see, I'm going to delete everything there and come over here and remove, highlight all of this. Now I no longer have them typed. I have the cell names. What that means is that anything that is inside that cell is going to be the new data that is validated. Let's see how that looks like. So I'm going to click on this part. Now I have the cell names, and then I'm going to click on OK. Now you see it's going to work, right? So I have my data validated. I have chop, right? Now let's assume we want to go back, remove the chop, and then put what? Meat. Then I click outside, come over here, open the drop down. Now you see meat. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference?
Yes.
Any question on drop down? This is your assignment. This is it. I need you, we have, inside the drop down in data below, we have produce, we have meat and bakery as category. Look at your food and departments, and then let me minimize this so you can see the entire thing. Let us know which of them falls. Data validates all of this with those three. Okay? I think
Can I suggest something? This particular part, many people may say yes, understood, but inside is not yet. So I will suggest you in a special way. This is the first step. This is the second step. Until when you get to that level.
should I type those steps out? So method. Alright, as the first one. Then the second method, or the second step rather. After you are right, you go to the data menu. Thank you. I need to stop the recording. I'm trying to project this so you don't, all of you copy that thing, have you?
My name is Ode Vivian, and my track is data analysis and visualization. So for today, I've learned so many new things on Excel, things I've never known before. So we did things such as sum if, transpose, split, sort and filter, so many other things on Excel that I've never done before. So it was quite interesting, and I'm looking forward to the next class, to learn more new things. Thank you. So to the techies, I want to say a very big thank you because they've been working tirelessly, to make sure that all our classes are holding and to impact the knowledge that is needed even on us. And then to 3MTT, I want to also thank the federal government for, bringing up this initiative, to train more people in the tech field, which is, in this part of Cross River or in this part of Nigeria is quite low in number. So I want to say a very big thank you to the federal government for this initiative. Thank you.
Joshua Effiong by name, and my track is data science. Actually, for today's class, it has been so interesting, and advanced Excel that was taught. Things I knew in Excel, which I thought I knew so much. But for today's class, my eyes have been opened to a lot of things which I never knew, such as the sorting and the filtering, the validating of data, and other things. And honestly, I would say I'm so glad to have learned this today. I want to be thankful to the health tech, because right from the time, during the orientation when he spoke, I got so interested in the health tech, and I had a lot of expectations, and I can say so far I've not been disappointed in my expectation from the health. I want to also say thanks to 3MTT, the federal government of Nigeria, organizing this program to train the millions of people in IT, which is where the world is drifting towards today. So I want to say big thanks to the federal government of Nigeria for the 3MTT program. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this great opportunity. My name is Ogoyaki Esther. My track is UI/UX. I'm grateful for the classes that I've been attending. For today, we were taught about user perseverance, and our facilitator was Mr. Precious Abachuku, and he did a very nice job today by explaining everything about user perseverance, which last class I did not understand, but this today class I understand everything very well. The assignment that was given to us, at least he helped us to explain better on how to cover up the assignment and how to go about it. I want to thank Dahel Techies for the opportunity. I wanted to quit, but because of Mr. Dahel Techies, I'm not going anywhere. And I want to thank 3MTT for choosing me among this program, among the 3,000 of fellows that will attend this program. I want to say God bless them, and I appreciate everything they've done. Thank you.
So, hello everyone, my name is Arnold Asmita, and I'm here studying data analysis at Dahel Group, and here it has been a privilege to learn a lot. I've really learned today how to use the Excel functions to prepare tables and manipulate the tables to your own advantage. Today's class was very specific and straight to the point, and I really enjoyed this session. Having been here, I really learned a lot, and I want to thank my vote of thanks goes to 3MTT and their Dahel Group for their support so far, for encouraging us to keep learning and keep pushing and keep growing in knowledge and in wisdom. I just want to say thank you all, and do have a nice day.